Look, Mrs. Haynes, this would be a lot easier if you cooperated with us. Just tell us all you know.
I already did. No matter how many times I tell you, my story ain't changing. And don't expect me to be turning into some canary and singing you all the songs you want to hear. I'd rather be dancing at the end of a rope than admitting to something I didn't do.
We'll try to look at it from our perspective. You and your husband both went in the dryer together, but when you came out, you were the only one left. So what happened?
I don't know. It's hard to keep track of cats when you're being tossed around in a place like that. The dryer is a tough joint. It's easy to get mixed up in things you aren't supposed to.
Is it now?
Why are you picking on me? There was a load of other clothes in there. Sure, some were rags, but others were perfectly capable of bumping off my dearly beloved.
We have other suspicions, Miss Haynes, so we aren't just picking on you. You just happen to be our main suspect and the wife of the missing person.
His name was Bobby, and he was my soulmate. Leave it to the pigs to not even use his name. Bobby was different from all the other mugs. He understood me. We had a lot in common. Seen the same things, you know?
Did you guys ever fight?
Sure, we had it out sometimes, but I never hated him enough to pump his guts full of lead. You said you had other suspects. Who are they?
Our other main suspect goes by the name Butch. He doesn't seem to be very fond of you or your husband.
Oh, him. He's some two-bit crook who's had it out for us ever since I picked Bobby over him. He's a nobody, and he didn't take too kindly to being number 2.
Why you guys gotta bring me down to the clubhouse? You ain't got nothing on me.
Look, Mr. Butch, this is just standard protocol when someone goes missing.
You think it was me? You guys think I did it? Look, I'd be more than happy to cut down the old foot hugger myself, but this time, it wasn't me.
Why do you want him dead?
Because he's a daisy! A wimp! He comes in and snatches up Nikki just because they got a lot in common. I could have given that dame everything, but she didn't want it. She wanted that schmuck. Sure, I hit that pipe occasionally, but I'm more of a man than he is.
I see. Did you ever see them have any arguments?
All the time. Those two were like two junkies fighting over the last bit of nose candy.
Did they?
That's probably why old Bobby ain't around anymore. She finally wised up to him, plugged him in herself. Now, she's trying to pin the whole thing on me so I can take the rap for it. Well, it ain't happening. Not for the sap.
Did you love her?
What the hell kind of question is that? Yeah, I loved her, but I'm glad she didn't pick me. I probably would have ended up like Bobby.
You know, we have other testimonials that say those two were very happy together.
That's a load of bull! I don't know who you got feeding you those lies, but they couldn't be more wrong.
Their names were Paula and Herman, and they, like yourself, were in the dryer when it happened.
Oh, those two crazy mittens? They don't know anything about the real world. They live in a fantasy world where nothing bad ever happens.
Do you guys know why we called you down here?
Is it because that nice boy Bobby going missing?
Yes, it is. What could you tell us about Bobby and Nikki?
Oh, they were a nice couple. Always very friendly.
Danke, das hat gut geschmeckt. Darf ich bitte aufstehen? What was that, sir?
He said that they remind him of us all those years ago. He's so sweet.
Do you think that Nikki could have, been the cause of Bobby's disappearance?
No, not at all. She was a sweet girl. Those two were just going through some tough times. Don't we all?
Sure. Ich bin halben lieben Schweinhund.
He says if anyone is responsible, it was that awful Butch fellow. He's a very mean and bitter man.
So you think Butch did it?
Well, I don't want to point any fingers, but he was a rough guy, and he got very angry and jealous when Nicky chose Bobby over him.
Interesting.
I don't think Nicky could do such a thing. That's a wicked thing to do to a person. And Nicky is too nice.
Well, Coppers, what's the deal?
Well, Miss Haynes, we've heard from others, and unfortunately we just don't have enough evidence to acquit you.
Oh, that's great. Tossing an innocent looker in the hose cow just because some goon set her up? Who did it? Who put the finger on me? Was it Butch?
It was no one's, Mrs. Haynes. The evidence is against you, and your alibi isn't sound. We find you guilty. Guilty.
I give you the truth? And you slap on the iron bracelets anyway? What a world.
One more kiss, dear. One more sigh. Only this, dear, is goodbye. For our love is such pain and such pleasure that I'll treasure till I die. So for now, dear, au revoir, ma belle, but I